Today on Downtown Now, we sit down with Bentonville's own Peyton Bolling, and Miss America's team discusses winning the crown and making an impact in her hometown.
I still have the mindset of reflecting the spotlight on Arkansas and America, and truly I'm doing this for Arkansas.
Next, flying through Arkansas, we take flight with Bentonville's favorite drone pilot, Benjamin Oliver. Then, Downtown Now introduces Bentonville Bites. Join us as we discover the best cuisine the city has to offer. First stop, Mezzaluna Pastaria. You're watching Downtown Now, sponsored in part by Arkansas Federal Credit Union.
Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Downtown Now, inside what might be the coolest spot in all of Bentonville, the Tower Bar at the Momentary. I'm Aaron.
I'm Dana. And did you know? This space right here is about to celebrate its 5th birthday.
It's hard to believe, but let's take a look around not only the Momentary grounds, but also the views from inside the Tower Bar that are second to none in this city.
They're swanky.
Being 6 floors up here at the Tower Bar has me thinking about taking pictures this high up. Okay. Back in the day, you'd have to be in a plane, maybe climb to a building or a really, really tall ladder.
Did you see over there?
What?
It's not a bird.
Yeah, I see it.
It's not a plane.
Okay.
That maybe one of Ben
Might be.
Oliver's drones flying around Bentonville. We want to introduce you to one of Bentonville's favorite drone pilots.
2, 1. My senior year, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do yet, but one day, my future film professor at SAU Tech in South Arkansas, Steve Taylor, came to my class and he sold me completely on the idea of doing film full time. And from that day on, I was all in, and it was a week after my high school graduation that I was working on a large TLC television reality show. I chose to do video production here in Northwest Arkansas because it's my favorite way to create. I love to be creative, and there's not a prettier spot than NWA. It's a great area. I travel quite a bit for work, but when I get to film here locally, it's always a great time. It's been the best decision of my life, was choosing this career by far. I've had the chance to work on several different projects, from documentaries on ESPN, SEC Network, to Netflix projects, documentaries, several commercials. If you name it, I probably will film it or have filmed it, and it's so much fun. What keeps me excited about this career is, I mean, it's always changing. If you take a day off, you're gonna be left behind. It's always evolving. I really enjoy that. You know, it's a very fast-paced environment, and that's what I love it.
This one here is called a Cine, and it has prop guards, a little bit slower, it goes like 50 or 60 miles an hour. And then this one over here is the bad boy. This one goes 120 miles an hour.
I started flying drones back in 2014, back early on when drones started becoming popular and available to consumers. I started seeing FPV drones come on the market back in like 2016. FPV stands for first person view. In 2021, I decided to go ahead and purchase my first FPV drone. I had a lot of time on my hands at home. When it came in, I made sure before I even turned it on, I put 20 plus hours in the flight simulator. One day I felt super confident in myself with it, and I went outside and I took off and immediately crashed. It shattered in 100 pieces. I'll always say, if you're not crashing, you're not flying hard enough. It's been a really fun part of my career that was an accident. I truly do love what I do. I'm super passionate about it, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I have, and especially being able to do it here in Northwest Arkansas. There's not a better place to do it, in my opinion.
Fresh pasta.
1,
House-made gelato.
2,
Mozzarella.
3.
These are my favorite things, made with precision and passion.
Some of Dana's favorite things are actually found right here in downtown Bentonville at a brand new restaurant. It's called Mezzaluna Pastaria. We got a chance to go sit down with the chef in a brand new segment. This is the newest dish in town. This is Bentonville Bites from Mezzaluna.
you before we dig in is, why Bentonville?
Why? That's a good question. A friend of ours came to our restaurant, our original restaurant in California. She came to visit us, and she says, "Well, we just moved to Bentonville." I'm like, "Where the heck is that?" And it's just like in Northwest Arkansas. I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know, long story short, you know, she says, "Why did you come to visit and open another place of yours in Bentonville?" Because we wanted to expand. So we flew down here for a week and checked it out, and so like, well, I can open a restaurant anywhere. I don't really care where I am, as long as I have a new restaurant. But Amy really loved it, and so that's how we ended up over here.
I'm looking at the array of things that are on your menu here and the beautiful drinks. What can people expect if they want to come to Mezzaluna?
Yeah, number one, it's fresh. It's mostly organic. It's as local as possible because we like to, you know, support our farmers and ranchers and so forth in the area. So we're cooking a dish called rigatoni alla buttara. I've been cooking this dish probably for like 30-something years. Started in Coco Pazzo in New York City, where I first learned how to make this by Pino Longo, the owner, and one of our best sellers ever since, no matter which restaurant I worked in.
How has Bentonville really risen to the occasion to really embrace everything that you guys are doing?
Everyone's just so friendly here. Just so very different than California. Very friendly. So we're so excited about that.
People are so outgoing and generous. It's really, really amazing.
Sit down and eat.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously for a restaurateur, that's a big thought process, but it's also, I think it's exactly what Bentonville's all about, right? I mean, we want to come, we want to sit in an environment like this, we want to eat food, we want to talk, we want to be happy.
Yeah.
Sit down and eat.
Yeah.
That's special.
That's community, and that's hospitality, you know, and I think a lot of people forget about hospitality, what that means. But in Bentonville, we definitely saw it firsthand in action, what it means, so which we're very grateful for. House-made potato gnocchi with gorgonzola dolce sauce and some black truffle oil. Delicious.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to many, many meals here at Mezzaluna, and thanks for inviting us here. Thanks for the drinks and the wonderful food.
Well, I think we're going to end every Bentonville Bites the same way. We're going to turn the camera off, and Kyle, who's behind the camera, is going to join us.
Come on.
Don't turn it off. Come sit down with us. This is how we're ending.
He's been watching us eat.
Yes. So excited. So you're still rolling?
Yeah, we're still rolling.
Okay, that's great. We go one. There he is. Cameraman in front of the camera.
That was absolutely delicious. And if you want to see more Bentonville Bites features, head to our YouTube page. Aaron, there you find features on downtown restaurants and so much more.
And we also want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. All right, after the break, royalty right here in Bentonville, Arkansas. The pageant world is calling Bentonville, Arkansas home. This after, for the first time in history, an Arkansan has won the title of Miss America's Teen. In our downtown conversation, we sat down with Peyton Bolling, and I think you're about to figure out why she's got a national crown to call her own. Peyton Bolling joins us now. Peyton, thank you so much for being here for our downtown conversation. I want to go to a year, really probably 2 years of first for you.
Yes.
The first time you competed in a teen pageant, you won it. Then you go to Miss Teen Arkansas, you won it.
Yeah.
And then the big one, Miss America's Teen.
Yes.
Talk to me about those first. What has this year really been like for you?
Yeah, so I was just talking with my mom this morning because a year ago today I was starting Bentonville High School for the first time after becoming a United States Senate page, where I spent 5 months in Washington, D.C. learning from some of our most powerful leaders. And then I came back and I was like, let's try something new. Let's try a pageant. And my mom was Miss Dogwood, so I competed for Miss Dogwood's Teen, and that's where the competition started. And at first I thought this was really cool. And then I got to Miss Arkansas's Teen and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was, and I won that, and my dad said it felt like he just signed a D1 athlete. That's the emotion that was going through the room. And then I got to Miss America's Teen, and the sisterhood was so strong, and I forgot that we were even competing.
So going back to the year of first,
Yes.
was it expected I mean, in this world, you know, I say this stat a lot because my wife is was a part of the pageant system, that you're more likely to have a son in the Super Bowl than a daughter in
Miss America.
You know, this high level of pageantry. Does it come with expectations when you got into it, or was it this moment of,
no,
I want to try something new, let's see what happens?
It truly, you have to have the mindset of you're here for the sisterhood, you're here for the scholarship, you're here for the mindset, because it's all about timing. I keep telling people that I was threading needles I didn't know I was threading. Like the United States Senate Page program, I couldn't have won Miss Arkansas team without it. And that was timing. Everything happened for a reason, so you can't go into pageants and you can't go into Miss America thinking, I'm here with an expectation. You truly need to be there with the expectation that you're gonna win the experience, you're gonna be with your new sisters, hopefully your bridesmaids someday, and hopefully you'll get some scholarship money out of it.
Okay, but let's go to that moment you realized that crown was going to be yours for the next year, something that cannot be taken away from. You will have this for your entire life. What was that moment like when you realized, whoa, I did this?
Miss Arkansas, Peyton Bolling!
I still don't think I've gotten to that moment where I'm like taking a step back and being like, wow, I did that. I don't think it's gonna come until after I give the crown up. Because right now it feels so much like a dream that I couldn't have expected a year ago. So much has happened in the year. I've grown so much this year, but when they called my name and they put that crown on my head, I was like, wow, the crown is bigger, the sash is thicker, the diamonds are more. Like there's so many things that go into it, but at the same time, I still have the mindset of reflecting the spotlight on Arkansas and America, and truly I'm doing this for Arkansas.
You mentioned your parents for a moment, and I want to go to that. You're a military family.
Yes.
Your dad in the Marines. Your mom in the pageant world. How much has that really shaped who you are today as we sit here at Bentonville High School's library?
Yeah, so my dad always had me acknowledge that strong militaries come from strong civics and strong communities. He was deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan when I was very young. My mom had to take care of my brother, and that really taught me that you can get involved in your community in so many ways, because my dad was off fighting the war and my mom was taking care of her people, her community. She was having to step up, maybe she wasn't fighting the war, but she was taking care of two babies while also working in the United States Capitol. So that really taught me that there's so many ways you can get involved in your community, and it really stemmed my passion for civics.
Let's go to that passion for civics. Tell me about your platform.
Yes.
And what really struck me as I watched some interviews that you've done since you won is the difference between civics and politics.
Yes.
Talk to me about why that you're so invested into the civic side of our world and not the political side of our world.
So politics is so polarized, and my passion is community. Arkansas has such a good community, and I think most of the world can learn from Arkansas because we're so cool. Civics is all about how can you get involved in your government, and how can you get your passion heard, and how can you get involved in it. Politics, on the other hand, is very political, obviously, and it's all about your affiliation, and people use politics to be polarizing, when really we need to come together, listen to understand instead of listening to rebuke each other. And so that's why I'm very involved in civics instead of politics.
Let's talk about Bentonville High School, how special this city is to you. Your vice president, I mean, like, these are, big things, Peyton. These hallways, this building, this city, how has it molded you to get to this crown that's now on your head?
So Bentonville is such a unique place. I kind of think of it like America, but on a very small scale, because we're a melting pot. People are moving here every day. Fun fact, 36 people move here every day. So we are growing quickly. There's so many diverse perspectives, upbringings, environments. And so learning how you can navigate a world that's always growing and changing and adapting, and also learning how to listen, how to understand each other. And even if we don't have the same opinions, we can still come together and create a strong community. This will be a year of memories. Yes. Tell me a memory that you have, whether it's in downtown Bentonville. I saw some pictures of you from the square, or here at Bentonville. Give me a Bentonville memory that you know, whether it's this year or in the past, that's just going to stick with you for the rest of your life. The Bentonville Parade this year, I wasn't in it because we had some mishaps with the car, but I went there because I wanted to see all my friends, and the amount of people I saw, whether it was teachers, local title holders, friends, dance team members, there were so many different people that I knew, and yet we were coming together, and there were so many people I didn't know, and that such a Bentonville thing. Is like, oh my gosh, there's my friend, there's my friend, there's my friend. Hi, nice to meet you. And I became friends with the people around me. So that's just how Bentonville is. When I was in Washington, D.C., I told my boss, I was like, you know, I really like Washington, D.C., but people think I'm a crazy person when I go up to them and smile and say, hi, how are you? Because other places in the country don't know what it's like in Arkansas, where you literally have never met a stranger.
You brought up the Bentonville Christmas Parade. We produced that as well. So, I mean, that's well played. We did not plan any of that. Before we stop talking here, Peyton, I want to talk about what Washington was like. Why did you take 5 months to go to Washington to be a part of this Senate Page program? And really, what did you learn that really shaped who you are now?
Since 7th grade, I have told everyone around me, oh, my junior year, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go be a page. I knew I was going to do it. And like I said, my mom worked at the United States Capitol, so she knew about the program. But I had to apply for it. I wrote 25 different senators and was like, please take me. Please sponsor me so I can go to D.C. And most of them said no. But luckily, one senator said yes.
Who was it?
It was Senator Martin Heinrich from New Mexico.
Okay.
And I went off to Washington, D.C., and I started my very intense journey. We woke up at 5 in the morning every single day. I had school until 8:30 with very intense college level classes, and then I worked on the Senate floor every day until they adjourned, which sometimes were 6 p.m. and sometimes were 2 a.m. So it really just depended on what the Senate was doing. We had all these different things we were doing every single day, whether they were discussing vaccines for pages or the war in Ukraine, whatever it was, there was always something interesting and so many different perspectives that got brought up. And the thing that I learned most is they did a lot of supervision, but not a lot of parenting. So you had to learn at 16 years old what it was like to be in college, but to also have your first job, but also you have to miss homecoming and prom and all this stuff. So it was so many sacrifices, but you learned responsibility, time management, and you learned that if you left your homework in your room, you're going to have to learn how to deal with it because your mom is not going to come bring it to the school, which I did struggle with a little bit at first.
All right, so you're planning to go to the U of A after graduating from here at BHS. What is the next year going to be like as you really dive into your title?
Yes, so, which I think is so interesting. We were talking about threading needles. It's just, this is the year where we're going to move it back to its home time of September, which is exactly when college starts. So I'm going to do 8 months. I'm going to make these next 8 months count, but then I'll give up the title once I'm going to college and starting a new chapter. So I'm hoping to be on the Razorback dance team. Fingers crossed, Coach Britt is watching this and is seeing, manifesting it. But I'm hoping to be on the dance team. I want to get involved with student government. I really just want to dive and immerse myself into the University of Arkansas culture.
Peyton Bolling, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Definitely a great representation for the town of Bentonville, for the state of Arkansas. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Peyton plans to attend the University of Arkansas right down the road from Bentonville. After the break, we are going to our highlights of the week. Dana, there are highlights, there are lowlights, but there's only one place you can find highlights. And that's because the guy behind this camera is about to tour things in Bentonville and give us his take.
He's going to take one for the team and enjoy some of the best experiences Bentonville has to offer, including one right over our shoulder here.
Tough roll, Kyle, tough roll.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Highlights here. I am at the magnificent Tower Bar where they have been so gracious to host me and allow me to try these 3 drinks. We're about to dive in.
I'm gonna start with our vodka. This is definitely one that gets ordered consistently.
Just looks beautiful, classy, elegant. Wow. That is marvelous right there.
Going in with a Reposado tequila, and this is going to be a mango pulp here. We've got Coco Lopez, got some Ancho Reyes, which is a chili liqueur, a soy sauce for some saltiness, celery bitters. Strain into our glass. Got a lime here, and then some chili threads.
Just a really beautiful drink. I mean, first off, the looks of it. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Wow, this one might be my favorite one here.
We're gonna start with gin here. Aloe juice, house-made ginger syrup, orgeat, splash of cream for some texture, a little bit of lemon juice. But with a dehydrated lemon wheel.
It looks magnificent. The presentation looks incredible. So here we go. Oh my gosh, it's so sweet, and you can't really taste the alcohol, which is kind of dangerous. But amazing drinks here at the Tower Bar. You have to come here. You can see Bentonville every angle. It's a great place to go. But back to you, Dana and Aaron. Thanks for sending me here to the Tower Bar.
Kyle, thank you. Speaking of highlights, Dana, have you looked down?
Yeah. As someone who's afraid of heights, you need to see it for yourself, but this is a see-through floor.
It is.
The Tower Bar.
It is. It goes all the way down to the gallery floor.
So I'm gonna go this way.
Okay.
And you can end the show.
All right. Sounds good. Dana, thank you. I'm Aaron. We'll see you next time right here on Downtown Now.